This is the key. This is the key. So by you setting a goal and try to achieve this goal, and you might achieve this goal, and you haven't altered your self-identity, right? The way you see yourself, you will go straight back to that identity again. Into the topic, what we're going to talk about today. This topic we're going to talk about today is very near and dear to what I am all about. And what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about why you can make your change last. I was just on a meeting just before with a new team member of mine, and we really talked about the principles and all that sort of stuff. And one of the deep principles that lays in my coaching and the way I'm working with people is because when I started back then, I just got so frustrated to see people achieving some results and then went straight back again. Losing weight, go back again. Having more motivation and energy and then go back again, right? So I made it my mission, to really dial into okay, what actually makes people change, right? Long-lasting change, right? So what we're going to talk about today, I'm going to give you 3 steps. Well, the first two is, why your changes don't last. And the first one we're going to talk about is change through process. Change through process. What most people do when they try to change something, they try to change their process, right? So let's say you wanna get more motivation, more energy, and all that sort of stuff. You might be changing your process in terms of when you wake up, right? You wake up and you start an hour early and you do some things, These are all great things, and I'm a highly speaker and a talk about we got to do all those things combined we are talking about today. But what I'm saying to you here right now is that if you do those things alone, eventually you will go back again, and the results you're achieving is only temporary, right? So what a lot of people are looking at when they try to change things is that they're changing the process, right? The process of what they're doing. Us also called, we try to change our habits, right? And usually our habits are only changed and become strong when we start doing them over and over and over and over again, combined with the third thing I'm gonna show you here today. So change through process is not enough on its own. Number 2, what most people and a lot of people are doing is that they're trying to change through forced outcome. We all tried that before. We got a holiday coming up, we got a wedding, we got something coming up, and we want to look smoking for that, right? We try to change through a forced outcome, right? We set a goal for ourselves. We have a deadline for something, and we try to change our circumstances. We try to change our outcome based on that thing there, right? And these are all great. Again, as I'm talking about, these things are all necessary to be, right? But having them alone won't give you the lasting results, right? Because what happens when you go on a holiday, right? You're training hard and you're doing all the work, to try to get in good shape for your Bali and your Thailand trip in 12 weeks. You get up there and you're smoking hot, you're in beautiful shape and you feel good, and up there you might even blow out and just completely go off track. Or you might go up there and be scared of actually eating and doing something, right? Either or are good, right? But what usually happens is that you're coming back again to Melbourne or where you live, and you slowly go into your usual routines again. When I competed in fitness and all that, in fitness shows, usually we do that for 12, 15, 18 weeks period prior up to that, right? You're prepping up for a show. The amount of people, I'm not kidding here, the amount of people, they almost get a mental disease afterwards. They have issues afterwards because they can't figure out what to do and how to get back and all again. But the majority of the people, right? Majority of the people go back slowly to where they were before if they haven't had the last one. Altering your identity. Altering your identity. And if you're familiar with my work, it's a big component of what I'm teaching people is that raise your baseline is altering your identity. Raise your baseline is raising your bar for who you see yourself as, who you are as a person, what standards you have for yourself, right? This is the key. This is the key. So by you setting a goal and try to achieve this goal, and you might achieve this goal, and you haven't altered your self-identity, right? The way you see yourself, you will go straight back to that identity again. So that's what you see with people. Let's just take, because the gyms and stuff like that, physical appearance is very easy to measure, right? We look at where they are and where they went to, right? So if you are a person, if I explain to you as a person right now, you set that goal for yourself. You want to go to Thailand, and you have a holiday coming up, and you want to look good for that holiday. But what you usually are doing, and the person you really are, is like, you really like to go out and drink alcohol Friday and Saturday, and you might eat in, and you might do those, and what you hang out during the week, you might go out for a little wine and a little steak and a little food here and there, you know. If that's who you are and what you're doing on a daily basis, and the physique you have prior to you setting that goal is like 5, 7, 8 kgs above, right? If that's who you are and what you're doing and what you've been doing years after year, you setting that goal and actually working hard towards it, it's not going to get you results to last. I promise you. That's why you see people go in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out all the time, right? I am so relaxed with my training, for example. I am so relaxed with my nutrition and all that. Like, I know I've been doing it for a long time, but I was on a call with a new client yesterday. I said to her, like I don't spend any energy thinking about my training almost. Like, of course I spend energy when I'm working out, you know, but I don't spend any unnecessary energy afterwards, prior, or anything. I don't spend any unnecessary energy, you know, almost shopping my food, prepping, cooking, and eating my food, right? It's just second nature. I know exactly what I should eat, as you do as well. You know what healthy food is, you know, but you just don't have the habits and rituals in place right now. And this is the first one, right? I've just been doing it over and over again, you know, so the habits and rituals are so easy. I know exactly what food is in my cupboard. I know what food I need to have in my freezer and my fridge. I know when to shop it, where to pick it up at the supermarket. I walk in, walk out again, don't spend any energy on it. But because I've been doing it for so long time, over and over again, because it's my job, you know, working with people, get them in better shape, right? Get them in a better performance as what they are right now. It's my work, it's my job. Because I competed in fitness for a few years, you know, like trained since I was 15. You know, been working on everything in regards to coaching, mindset, and all those sort of things. I've been doing that for so long time. It's part of who I see myself as, right? I am Simon that do those things. I am Simon that push a little bit more. I am Simon that wake up early in the morning, right? These are the things I know I am, right? And whenever you can set I am, or whatever you said after I am, is where your identity is at the moment, right? So this is the work down here. If you really want to see lasting changes, right? It comes with identity. And how do we actually start working on our identity? Well, it lays with the two top ones. Of course, we're going to be clear. We're going to have clear goals where we want to go, something we want to work towards, something there's a purpose, right? We need to develop the system, the habits, and all that to have that in place. Identity comes down to, you know, education every single day, small education that can elevate your identity, right? Like things you haven't thought about before. You know, videos, courses, all that sort of things, you know, can elevate slowly. You know, it can reach your consciousness about, okay, this is possible, right? Oftentimes when we live in a closed-minded mindset, a limited mindset, it's because we don't know. Okay, we don't know how to feel. We don't know how to think on the next level. What is the next step? We don't know, right? So education, right? Sitting and listening to these sort of things, you know, can trigger small things in you. Listening to audiobooks, reading, and all that sort of stuff every single day will change your identity slowly over time. Because you're raising your energy, you're raising your knowledge, and you start executing on those things because you start thinking different every single day. Proximity. Proximity is the people you have around you, right? Proximity is having a coach, is having friends around you that live on a higher level, right? So if you play tennis, right, you practice to become a better tennis player. Well, if you keep playing with tennis players that is worse than you or the same level as you, well, what's your skill gonna look like in the next year or so if that's the person you're playing tennis with every single time? It's gonna be the same. You're not gonna raise your bar. You're not gonna push to become stronger, to become faster, to become better because you can't, right? You hold back by your proximity, by the people you have around you. So educate yourself, look at the people you have around you, and then look at your beliefs and associations. These are the three main things that we're looking at, right? That we're looking at when we try to change an identity, combined with the habits and rituals and all that in place. But educate yourself every single day. That's part of habits, right? That's part of doing a routine and stuff over and over again. Proximity, right? What is the people you have around you in your life? Do you have a coach, right? One of the best thing about having a coach is because instantly you get access to that person's proximity, right? That's that person's energy, that person's vibration, that person's attitude, right? Confidence, self-esteem, approach to things, thoughts, views on point, right? You instantly get dragged up to that person there and get access to those energies and attitudes, right? Because that's what all comes down to. It all comes down to energy, right? We're drawn to something. We're drawn to that person because that person has something we would like to have. We're drawn to that person because they have a great energy about them, great confidence, they have a great appearance, right? We want to be around that person, right? And if you're around that person long enough, you will become that person. You will become that energy, right? And this is not about copying or anything. You will just be dragged into those things